Happiness and Success family. This video is for anyone out there who finds themselves not really achieving or experiencing certain kinds of emotions that they really want. So whenever you get a promotion or a new lovely car, or you get into a new relationship, really you aren't after that thing, you're after a certain emotion, a certain feeling. That's what we chase, really, because behaviors arise when certain emotions are evoked within us. Okay, so what I want to address in this video is the victim mentality. There are so many things I want to get through, but one of the primary things is that the victim is always looking outwards, right? They're always pointing the finger. And the victim mentality turns into a habit. And we begin to associate being a victim and being entitled. We start to associate it with our identity. So what do I mean by the victim? The victim means they're not responsible. You know, if something bad happened to someone, if someone else got the job that they went for example, then they classify themselves, oh, it didn't happen because, you know, that person knows that person. So many politics in this business, like, it's just not fair. The victim, they didn't take responsibility for the circumstance, for the result, if you will. Okay, and sometimes we might have valid points, but it's still not enough. For example, that person who's, you know, huffing and puffing, you know, I didn't get the job, that person did, that person kisses ass, and, you know, that person is just more likable and I'm more qualified, or whatever it might be. Like, that person, you don't have to stay in that business, dude. Go and get qualified and go and get that promotion elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? You're always responsible. So that person might think, but if I go to another job, maybe I'll get something won't work out. Do you know what I mean? See how your subconscious would look to put you off in order to keep you where you are. Extremely detrimental. So another example of the victim mentality might be, you know, if someone broke up with you, for example. I'm talking about a romantic relationship here. Someone broke up with you, and you might think to yourself, you know what? They just moaned a lot. No one could ever satisfy that person. They're just too much. They're too much of a headache. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's not me. I mean, I was always the same. Maybe that's the problem, you see. But really, that the person should have in fact taken responsibility. You know what? I should have ended that relationship a long time ago. Or, you know, I changed my behaviors. Maybe I took this person for granted. The law of familiarity, right? Maybe I just started slacking. Maybe I wasn't growing at the same capacity as that person was in their lives, and they outgrew me, for example, or they just wanted something more depth, something more powerful, more energetic, more passionate, for example. And, you know what I mean? It's about taking responsibility, but our egos prevent us from taking responsibility, because if we don't take responsibility, it means we've got to make a lot of changes in our lives. That links back to laziness. So sometimes we get so obsessed with our ego because it suits our particular narrative, right? We're always the protagonist, the main character in our lives. And, you know, if we're always pushing away people's, like, objections to us, or reasons why we're not getting where we want to be in our lives, for example, it's usually just a safeguarding approach, a defensive mechanism, you know, in order to just keep us doing the same sort of things, getting the same type of results, to protect our ego, because we can't really handle it, really. And that's a challenge that we all face at different times in our lives, I guess. But it's all about being quite open, develop that growth mindset, taking responsibility, and doing the exact opposite of this, to be honest with you. And that's being a leader. But before I go on to this, like, a lot of people, they'll think to themselves, I completely lost my train of thought there. So I will continue where I was here. But the leader does the exact opposite, and instead the leader does this. Everything, that's what I was going to say, it's come back to me now. The leader will always take responsibility no matter what. And I know you're thinking, Alex, I have to take responsibility for everything. I'm responsible for why the bus was late. You think I need to take responsibility for a meeting not happening? That maybe, you know, some issues happened along the way. Do I really have to take responsibility for everything? Is everything really my fault? Well, firstly, change your perspective. No one said it's your fault. No one said it's necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's not a bad thing at all. But you still need to take responsibility. Yes, everything that's happening to you, you must take accountability for, because when you don't get used to developing that consistent, developing those subconscious programs of taking responsibility, then people love to find that grey area because it suits them. You ever met someone before who claimed to be, like, really religious, for example, until it suited their lifestyle? And they're like, I'm not that religious. And then another time when they're pointing their finger at others, now you need to be more religious, dude. Yeah, I'm not a fan of what you're doing. And then back then they changed rules a little bit to match their ego, their narrative. You know, people do this in all different types of ways in their lives, right? So people like looking for that grey area, and I want to cut away from that grey. There's no grey area. You need to be here. Okay, it's not easy because people like to claim the victim, and they actually get more attention when people claim to be the victim, because most people live in that same world as well. Most people are sheep, most people are followers, most people have that victim mentality of, you know, the government let me down, you know, my parents let me down, you know, my mates let me down, you know, my business partners let me down. There's so many people who develop these mentalities over time that they're more likely to put their arm around you. Listen, dude, I understand it didn't work out for you. I get it, cheer up, man. You get more attention that way. But whereas the leader is leading the path, the leader is, I just learnt this quotation, love it, uncommon amongst uncommon men, or women for that matter. So the leader is always accountable. The leader is always responsible. You know, if you've deviated off your path, you are responsible. If you didn't go to that meeting that you knew you needed to go to, or make that phone call that you know you needed to go to, or begin that project or that product or that service, or interact with that person when you really wanted to and you knew you should have, or gone to the gym, or started eating healthily and not letting things get spiral out of control, that's your responsibility. It doesn't matter how busy you were or what kind of unforeseen things came creeping your way. You know, life is unpredictable in many ways. You know, we can't constantly be ready for all diverse things. You know, things happen in life. But it's all about when you have this skill within you, no matter what's happening in the external world, you've got it in you. You are responsible. You're going to take action, because the victim leads to inaction, and the leader always takes responsibility and thus reaps the rewards, really. So this is where we want to go. So if you're appreciating this content, you want to know more, you might want to check out my course, guys. All you need to do is go to my website at www.alexgem.com, click where it says join PHS course today, just under my free ebook, 10 Steps to Excellence. Hook yourself up, get that as well. And yes, to click on that course, scroll to the bottom, check out the testimonials, check out the bonuses, check out who it's for, because it might not be for you. So definitely have a read of that as well. Scroll to the bottom of that page and you'll actually see the course outline. You'll see the different sections involved, the different segments. Some of those segments are set to preview, so just hit preview. You get the worksheet, which is tremendous. Massive fan of those. A lot of people have really appreciated the quality, the depth, the meticulousness of those worksheets. You get also exclusive videos, exclusive audios, and the written word if you like prefer reading as a means of learning. Check out that free content I offer, a 30-day money-back guarantee. All of the bonuses along with the ebooks that I give, which are $50 each. Like, it's incredible. Like, the whole package is worth between $1,200 to $2,000, but I'm not charging anywhere near that. You're going to be astonished. I want you to invest in me and therefore invest in yourself. I know that sounds cheesy, but I like it. So yeah, look after yourself, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.